Hey guys, welcome back to the makeup chair. Today I'm doing a brand focus using all BlankCanvasCosmetics products, and I'm really excited because it's their 5th birthday today, so I had to celebrate by doing a brand focus, of course. So I'm going to show you guys some of my favorite products, my favorite brushes, and one of my favorite looks as well. So I'm really excited about this. Definitely check out the information box for more details about what I'm talking about today, and let's get started. I'm so excited! So I already prepped my skin with moisturizer and primer because we don't have a primer, and I also use a Giorgio Armani liquid foundation because we don't have a liquid foundation, but I did use the F20 to apply it. This is one of our original brushes, the F20, and everybody owns this brush. This is our bestseller. It is an amazing brush, but now we've given you guys more options. So it comes in the pink, the black with rose gold, pink champagne, and also a full rose gold as well. So I'm really excited. I'm going to do a full video talking about them once they launch. I actually used the rose gold one today and just applied a very small amount of foundation all over. And then I'm going to cream contour and highlight using this palette. This palette has corrector tones in it, which you guys can use on redness. You can use this highlighter right here, which is a beautiful highlighter. The lilac-y shade, which is great for brightening up the skin. And then we have our concealer shades that can be used for contouring and highlighting as well, which is what I'm going to use today. But because I am so ridiculously pale, I will be mixing in the Bobbi Brown? I will be mixing in the Body Shop white foundation just to lighten it up. I'm going to use this shade right here. This is one of my new favorites, the EO5. It's like an angular brush. It's kind of flat and angular, but I'll talk you guys through the brushes at a different stage because today I just want to focus on the makeup. So when I'm highlighting and contouring, I like to apply just a little bit of foundation and then start highlighting and contouring using creams, and that way I get more coverage and I also don't have to blend as much because I have a little bit of foundation underneath that will help the blending process. So I'm going to start underneath my eyes, and I like to go along the edge of my nose and then I work across underneath my eyes. The reason I start along the edge of my nose is because I want it to appear a little thinner. So rather than darkening the edge, which actually makes your nose bigger, you want to lighten it so it blends in with your cheeks. So I just do like little triangles underneath my eyes and then go on the edge of my nose. I do have videos on highlighting and contouring though. If you can't grasp it, go and check out those videos. When I'm going across the forehead, I just match my arch to my arch and then up in the center and also on the tip of the chin and on the top of the lip. Then use whatever's left over to etch out our contour line on our cheeks. This will just stop you from bringing your contour down too far. Using the same brush, I'm just going to go in with a darker shade. I think I'm going to go with this one right here, mixed with the darkest. They're all the same formula, so you can just mix and match them and customize it to work for you. So I'm going from the top of the ear to the corner of the mouth, and I just do a line. And then on the other side of my arch, I go around the top, and also then on the edge of the nose. You don't have to be too precise about it because you will be blending it. So as long as you don't go outside of the lines, don't worry about it. And then I'm going back in with my F20 and just blending all of that out. Very, very easy. This brush is synthetic, so it can be used with creams and liquids. If I'm using a very heavy cream, I'll actually use the F22 or the F23. We have so many brushes. It's very subtle once it's blended out. You can apply a little bit heavier and go a little bit darker, a little bit lighter to really bring it out. But if you just want it to be nice and subtle and soft, this is the technique that I would use. It's particularly for drier skin types. I'm also going to show you guys how to powder contour, which works great for oilier skin types. But if you've got dry skin, this is what you want to use. Moving on to the powder contour palette, which I want to show you guys as well. I like to layer my creams and then powders over the top. So we have 6 shades, 2 dark, 3 light, and then this shade, which a lot of people use for blush. It can actually be used for brightening underneath the eyes because it has that sort of salmon-y cool tone. So apply this and then apply your lighter powders over the top. The 2 darker shades, self-explanatory. We have a light and a dark. Then we have our 3 lighter powders, a pure white, which is great for mixing and matching with the other shades to lighten it off. I actually use this for setting my makeup if my foundation's looking a little bit dark. Then we have these 2 shades here. One of them has pretty much no tone in it whatsoever. It's great for setting your makeup all over. Then for setting underneath the eyes, I use this one, which I refer to as like the biscuit tone. So those are our 6 powder shades. I'm going to lightly bake with these, and even though they're pressed powders, I just kind of really work up the brush and then apply quite a lot of them underneath my eyes. So I'm going to use mostly that white shade because I'm pale. You want to make sure there's no creases underneath the eyes before you apply the powder, otherwise you're just going to set the creases. So pat them away and then go straight in with the powder. You want to apply your lighter or darker shades in the same way that you did with the cream contour. You don't have to apply as much as this, but I am going to be doing a smoky eye, so I just want to use this as a base so I can knock it off at the end. And then just work through the center of the face, top of the lip, tip of the chin, Then I'm going to take the F30. This can be used for highlighting underneath the eyes, so you can apply your powders with it, or you can then use it for contouring. So I'm going to use it for contouring today. This is very similar to a F30, if you remember that one, which was just straight across, but this has more of like a lift to it. So I'm going to go in with the second darkest shade and then just a little bit of the darker one. I like to have the softer tip just on the apple of the cheek and then the denser end towards my ear. And I sweep upwards from the apple of the cheek, just underneath the apple of the cheek, blending up. Just like that. And this is going in the hollow of your cheekbone, so you can look down, follow that natural shadow, or if you can't find it, just feel for it. Just on the other side of the arch, you want to go around your hairline. I'm going to move on to the brows and the eyes and just leave that settle on my skin because I'm going to be brushing it off later. Just in case you're watching halfway through and you go, she didn't blend her contour. I will be blending it later. I'm going to move on to the brows. I'm going to be using the Pippa palette. If you guys don't know Pippa, she's one of our brand ambassadors and she created this amazing palette. So this has all my eyeshadows and then a highlighter, a blush and a contour. I'm going to be using a little bit of black on the outer edge of my eye and then using the warmer shades as I get to the inner corner. I just start to etch out my brows going up from the arch. And with the Pippa palette, you can do a smoky eye, you can do quite a natural look. It's a really versatile palette. With whatever's left over on the brush and then mix together a little bit of Dodo and Susu just to warm it up a little bit and use this on the inside of my brows. And I love this brush for getting that perfectly straight line just underneath and then blending it upwards. Thank goodness brows are supposed to just be sisters and not twins. I don't think they're even related. I'm going to take Lily, which is the lightest shade from this palette, and just go around the edges. I brought that highlighter down a little bit further and I'm going to leave it there because I'm going to do a smoky eye, so I'm going to blend that out anyway. I am going to be using this palette. These eyeshadows are amazing. Now, most people from BlankCanvas actually have brown eyes, including myself. So we were like, oh, this is going to work great on brown eyes. But no, it works great on everybody's eyes. Green eyes, blue eyes, hazel eyes, gray eyes, whatever color eye you have. For some reason, this just makes them pop. I'm going to show you guys my favorite spotlight eye today because we have this gorgeous Goddess shadow right here, which I love for packing on the center. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm really excited. This is my favorite bit. And this palette actually comes with this brush, which is one of my favorites. It's the E40 E41, holy grail of brushes. It's synthetic, so you can use with creams and gels and liquids and apply your bases with this. You can also then blend it out. You can use it with concealer, but it is amazing for blending out these eyeshadows. I'm going to start off with the blending side to begin with and start with Core, which is the third eyeshadow. And I'm just going to use this as a base. So applying this all over the lid, right up to the crease and all the way up to the edge of that highlighter as well. Then taking the next shade beside it, just a little bit on the tip of the brush. You want to apply this on the outer edge of the eye just to start with, and then slowly start to wiggle it about 1/3 of the way in. Leave that center part of your lid free, so don't blend it all the way in there, but you can bring it up into the crease. And for the inner corner, apply a very tiny amount on your brush and just very softly go over the inner corner into the crease and meet on the outer edge of the eye. It's sort of like that kind of shape, like a C shape, leaving the center part free. And taking the last shade on the top row, which is a really nice warm shade, we're going to apply this on the outer edge and then start to blend up into the crease. Keep it quite low in the crease though. Don't blend it as high as the last shade. And then bring it to the inner corner. Using the first shade on the second row, we're going to do pretty much the same thing because I want to really build these shades up. So applying it on the outer edge, this time keeping it quite low towards the lashes, and then blending it up into the crease and bringing it to the inner corner. It's always handy just to have a clean brush just to go around the edges and soften everything. And I'm actually going to go in using this brush with a little bit of the second to last shade on the second row. And just very lightly go around the edges. This adds a bit of warmth to the blend. Then I'm going to take the E40 again. Using the blending side, I'm going to go in with the darkest eyeshadow from this palette and just apply this on the outer edge of the eye. Just really packing it on there. The thing about smoky eyes is that they always look a little bit messy to start with, and then they start to take shape. So I'm just working this on the outer third of the eye, and then bringing it into that inner corner. But just use whatever's left over on the brush. Don't feel like you have to apply that dark shadow just in here because it would be a bit too dark. unless that's the look you're going for, and then work away. For the next step, you can either dampen your brush or you can apply like a gel like this. It's the Drop and Fix. It's not one of our products. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of this just on my fingertips on the center of the lid. And then taking the flat side of the brush that comes with this palette, I'm going to go in with Goddess, which is such a pretty shadow. And just pat this over the gel that we've applied. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm going to use Borderlines, which is one of my favorite ones from BlankCanvasCosmetics. We actually have two in the range. One of them is slightly longer and thinner, which is great for people who are a little bit more comfortable with eyeliner, whereas this one's great for beginners because it's slightly shorter, so you have more control. Also, I'm not going to be doing a wing. I'm just going to be doing a curved shape because that's the one that works for my eye shape. So this is the one that I prefer. So I just go along my lash line. I use my little pinky as support. And then I like to bring it up into a slight curve just on the center of the eyelid. I'm going to apply mascara and some false eyelashes off camera because we don't actually have eyelashes. I would love to come out with my own eyelashes though. I'm going to take the F06 and I'm just going to brush away all of that highlight and blend out our contour as well. Moving back onto the eyes, I just want to add a little bit of definition on the lower lash line. So I'm going to take that palette again. I'm going to take the E04, the fourth shadow on the top, just working this underneath the lashes. A little bit of the darkest shade from this palette and just apply this on the outer edge of the eye and then just sweep it inwards. To finish off the look, I'm going to take the highlighter and blush from the Pippa palette again. I'm using the F13 to apply this, which I actually used for highlighting earlier. I don't know if you guys can see it because you have to be at like a certain angle, but I love this highlighter. And then, ooh, I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite brushes ever, 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 ever. If you don't get any of the other brushes, get this one. We don't actually have lipsticks yet, so I'm going to use two of my matte lipsticks, one slightly lighter and one slightly darker. I really thought this was a matte lipstick, but I just realized it's not. It's just a liquid lipstick. So that is the finished look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. This has been my favorite video that I've done in so long. I'm just so grateful to be part of the BlankCanvas team. You have no idea. It has changed my life. I love them so much. They're phenomenal people. They really are. Yeah. For all my BlankCanvas friends and family watching, hey guys! I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in another one on Friday, I think. I won't be here this Wednesday, but I will be here on Friday. So I'll see you guys then.